Yeah, till it comes, you can
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandapranam. I'm very, very deeply grateful to you for such flowing, sweet, free-flowing nectar. And actually, I was quite disturbed in last few days because of my health conditions. But by the sweet Mangal mercy of your nectarian katha, I am very pacified now. My question is that means you were talking about Kritagya and Kritagna. So you explained about Kritagya. And Krishna is, in Gajendra Pashtim also it is described that Krishna is extremely Kritagya. In one lecture I heard from Maharaj, and Maharaj said that gratitude is the field in which, fertile field where the seed of bhakti can grow. Then I try my best to be Kritagya in all situations, but like we do some service for Krishna, and Krishna is Kritagya. When means I have lots of bhog vritti despite some attraction towards Kirtha and Kirtan. So I wonder when I do something wrong which Krishna doesn't like, which Shastras and Guru don't permit, how does Krishna feel? That is first one question. And second thing is that we are trying to do good to others, but it is a thankless task in this world, as you have already explained multiple times. So you do good to others, but they have, especially karmi people, materialistic people, they have their own misconceptions, and they spread humor or they create some havoc in your life. It becomes very difficult to be, even though they had done something good for us, but more than that, they have caused nasty havoc. So it becomes very difficult to be kritagya to them at that time. But I know that Guru wants me to forgive them, Krishna wants me to forgive them. It's extremely difficult to forgive. So how do we forgive them at that time, and how do we become kritagya at that time?
See, when it comes to Krishna, yeah. You see, when Krishna saw Duryodhana fallen on the ground with broken thighs, he did not feel happy. He felt sad. As mentioned in the Bhagavatam, one shloka is there. Now, why did the Lord feel sad about Duryodhana's defeat? Actually, Lord should feel happy because he wanted to bring victory to whom? Pandavas. Then why did he feel unhappy to see Duryodhana fallen? Because the Lord always feels compassion, even to inimical souls also, like asuric souls also. He feels pity for them because ultimately they are whose part and parcels? 15.7 says, Mamaivaamsho, Jivaloke, Jivabhuta Sanatana. Eternally speaking, ultimately Duryodhana is Krishna's part and parcel only. So Krishna feels sympathy, pity, when somebody is ungrateful to him and ungrateful to devotees and they create a mess out of their life. And Krishna doesn't become angry that, hey, he didn't do bhakti to me. Chodo mata. Beat him. He doesn't think like that. Actually, Krishna is only concerned about one thing: when somebody harms devotees, and then because somebody is hampering the progress of a jiva back to Godhead, then Krishna becomes angry. For example, Hiranyakashipu, why the Lord came to tear him apart? Because he was blocking the progress of all the souls back to Godhead. He was destroying Brahminical culture. And that's why even his own so-called son, our Bhaumasura, if you see, Bhaumasura was born to Varaha and Bhumi Devi. If you see, Lord killed him. Why? Because he was anti-Brahminical culture. Lord finished him. Because Lord doesn't become envious of somebody who hurts him, but Lord becomes upset with somebody who blocks the progress of jiva towards the Lord. For example, you ask any parent, if a parents are themselves kidnapped, they won't feel as bad as when their child is kidnapped. Correct, no? Yeah, because they can't tolerate that. They will say that, let me die, no problem, but my child should not be harmed. Correct, no? Same manner with Lord also. So Lord only feels pity for those who don't surrender to Him. And not only that, He has made many, many baby steps for them to come to Him. Karma Kanda He has kept. Then there is Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. And He says that openly in the 12th chapter also. Mayyeva Mana, that's why He says. And then if you cannot do that, Atachittam Samadhatum Nashaknoshi Maisteram Abhyasa Yogena Tato He says. And then He says, Abhyasepi Asamartosi. He says, that also you cannot do. The next one, at least work for me. He says, finally He says, if you cannot work for me, if you cannot even donate for me, you don't enjoy the money, at least donate for some social cause at least. He says. Because if you keep that with you, you will hurt yourself. So don't hurt yourself, be selfless in giving away. Like that is it. Even though you will not give it to me, no problem, give it away to somebody, like that he says. So you will see that Lord is in a mood of bringing the jivas back to His lotus feet. He doesn't feel bad that somebody doesn't do bhakti to me. He wants us to do bhakti to Him. For whose good? For our good only. That was the first question you asked. The second question, about you do something good for some people, far from they being grateful to you, they become inimical to you. Sometimes they even become envious of you or inimical to you, and it's like biting the hand that feeds, we say, no? Some people do like that. Why they do that? There are various reasons for this. One of the reasons that we think of why they are doing it is because we think they have become envious of us. They are ungrateful and they are envious. That's what we generally estimate it to be, which may not necessarily be the case. Because sometimes we think we want to do good to somebody and you go and give them a piece of good advice. Or you stop them from doing something wrong. But they decode it differently. They say that, why are you becoming a self-appointed advisor in my life? I never sought any help from you. But you are putting yourself, you are coming into my life and interfering with my independently enacted activities. If I am going to hell, allow me to go to hell. You don't come my way. Some people say like that. So they consider you not a friend. They consider you an enemy because they want to do something which you are not allowing them to do. It's true that you are not allowing them to do for whose good? For their good only. Still, they don't want you to interfere. For example, we go to hostel to call the students for the program. There are students who will never attend our program, but they don't allow others to attend also. You seen that? In fact, they become anti-elements and they report to warden and they say, don't allow this program to go on. We should tell them, please eat some cookies and keep quiet. Allow the program to go. We will feed you prasad. You don't have to sit in the class. Without class also you get free prasad. Others can gain some knowledge of the Gita, but they don't want, because what they think is, if these people become serious devotees, they may become sadhus, or they may not study and they may not get. So some of them become like envious. So Prabhupada says that, sadhu's job is a very difficult job when we do. At the same time, for such people what we do, we pray from a distance for them. You are talking about somebody, but even parents sometimes try to do good to their children, and children misunderstand them. Children think that, why are parents forcing Krishna consciousness on us? We want more independence, more freedom. It's also true that some parents can become fanatical also sometimes. That fanaticism is another thing people hate. Like for example, there was one fanatical devotee who got married to a non-devotee girl because of the same caste, parents told them. So after she got married and came home, husband said, see, you are not even chanting one round also. You have no experience of reading Prabhupada books and everything. Now, at the same time, you should be aware that I am a Brahman initiated devotee. I am a senior devotee. Now I have to somehow make you a devotee. He gave her mala, he gave her books. He said, every day you will have to do extra so that you can come to my standard. So she goes to bathroom and he's battering door and saying, in bathroom also sing Krishna's names. So she will get fed up. She left him and went to her parents' home and said, hey, this fellow is forcing me to become a devotee. I don't want to be. But when she went home, there her neighbor was actually a very close friend of hers from the college days. They were thick friends. So her friend invited her to her place and she was reading Ishopanishad. So this lady also went and she was shocked. You are also doing this? When did you start it? But later on, her friend was so kind in treating her, then within 3 months she became a screen owner. And the husband came to know, he called his wife, now that you have become screen owner, please come back. You can stay with me. She said, I want to be devotee, not with you. You are a dangerous fellow. So it took more than 2-3 years for her to return back to stay with the husband. By the time husband went from Kanisha to Madhyam. So sometimes we may want to help others, but they fear us because the trust is not there. Say for example, one of you have a boil in your hand. You are painful. I go to the kitchen and take a knife and say, come here, surgery I will do now. Will you come to me? You say, Prabhuji is coming with the knife, you will run away. He will say, Prabhu, you are not a MD surgeon, correct? No? You are not a authorized surgeon. I accept you have a lot of love for me. Love is good. But I can't trust you because you are not qualified surgeon. Anybody cannot take a kitchen knife and do surgery. Correct? Now, similarly, you want to do good for somebody. Therefore, there is a verse which says, Labante Brahma Nirvanam Rishayah Kshina Kalmashaha Chinnadvaidha Yatatmanaha Sarva Bhuta Hiterataha. If you want to do Sarva Bhuta Hiterata, you want to do welfare work for the other living entities, we have to be sinless. Or we have to be strict follower of a sinless devotee. Like Prabhupada is Acharya. You strictly follow him and in his footsteps, and then we become purified more and more, then people may be willing to listen to us. Otherwise, if we are still not, he says, Labante Brahma Nirvanam Rishayah Kshina Kalmasha, he says. We have to become Kshina Kalmash. That's the qualification to do good to others. And what is the proof that you are becoming free from sinful reactions? We will go from Rajas and Tamas to Sattva, and Sattva and beyond. We will be sober in our approach to helping other living entities. We will be sober. Other living entities will trust us. Now you may ask, Babaji, coming to Sattva and Vishuddha Sattva, how will they trust us? There is another verse which comes in Dhruva Maharaja's section. Yasya prasanno bhagavan gunair maitriyadi virharihi tasmai namanti bhutani nimnamapa ivasvayam. Just as water falls, water never goes up to sky. It comes from the top to bottom. Similarly, when Lord becomes pleased with you, whole world will bow down to you, it is said. Yasya prasanno bhagavan gunair maitriyadi. By your qualities and friendly behavior with all living entities, when that happens, Lord is pleased with you, then the living entities will respect you and be willing to learn from you. Otherwise, they will not listen. Yasya prasanna bhagavan gunair maitri adivihi tasmai namanti bhutani. All bhutani will do namanti, he says. Nimna mapa ivasvayam. Just as water comes down in a waterfall. You cannot artificially force anyone to respect you. If any of us feel somebody is not respecting us, don't become angry with that person. You try to find out what I should improve in myself, by which that person will respect me. For example, one devotee was telling me, Prabhu, when you gave that class, I wanted that devotee to be there. If he was there, then he will really understand who really I am. I said, hey, Prabhuji, so many others are respecting you. I said, he said, Puja, others respecting doesn't touch my heart, but I want that particular, because that devotee thinks I am not great. I want that devotee to understand my real greatness. So I said, then I told him, go to the devotee, find out what all he expects from you, note down, and you fulfill it. No, Prabhuji, he has a very long list of expectations. So the best way to earn respect from others is not by forcing them, but by, so therefore it is said, don't demand respect, instead command respect. Command respect means, it's not that we all are going to be the same. After 5 years, 10 years, we will change. Someday the devotee will come to you and start respecting. Just like Vishwamitra had the same problem. But Vasishtha started respecting him as Brahma Rishi later. Initially, because of his passion, correct, no? If any of us have this Vishwamitra consciousness, and you have some Vasishtha coming in your life, so it will take time. First he became Raja Rishi, then Maharishi, then he eventually became Brahma Rishi. But he had to undergo a lot of ego tussles and a lot of problems. Correct? Huh? So better work on ourselves or work on the other fellow? Yeah. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.